The Elder Scrolls series has shown us some of our favorite video game worlds ever, but that doesn't mean there aren't things that Bethesda should do differently. We haven't heard anything about the 6th entry, but it's never too early to start thinking wishfully. Here are 8 things we think need to change for the Elder Scrolls 6. We've seen newcomers to Elder Scrolls advised again and again to skip the main questline. There are tons of alternative activities in Skyrim's vast explorable world, but major quests should serve to draw the player into the world, not bore them. Maybe it's a lack of consequence and closure. Some guards recognize you as the Dragonborn, but nobody really changes their opinion of you, no matter what you do.
Now I remember. You're that new member of the Companions. So, you what? Fetch the mead?
The Elder Scrolls doesn't need the nuanced combat of Dark Souls, but it would be nice if strategy and positioning made more of a difference. Lock-on melee targeting, directional attacks, and better blocking could prevent combat from becoming predictable games of hack and slash. Health management during combat is also a pain, often killing the pacing of what could be an adrenaline-pumping battle. At first glance, Skyrim's user interface looks pretty slick. Turns out, it's not. Whether you're accidentally selecting the wrong dialogue choice or trying to navigate confusing skill constellations, the UI is just plain awful. The inventory isn't much better. Having to sort by weight, value, or specific types can go a long way towards making inventory menus much easier to browse. Some loading screens are unavoidable, but major cities shouldn't lock their gates behind them. Even if cities have to stay behind a loading screen, the houses within shouldn't. Ultimately, it feels more alive when you can see people actually coming and going from a city. There are over 100 essential NPCs in Skyrim, characters who are unkillable because they serve an important function during any given quest. Sometimes the reasoning behind their invincibility makes sense, but many times it just comes off as coddling. Morrowind would alert you upon killing someone important, but Skyrim is anti-consequence and would rather have you watch someone stumble around before getting back up. At the very least, an option to disable essential NPCs would be a nice touch. Oblivion had some great moments, but those bandits in Daedric armor were proof of awful level scaling. Skyrim does away with this type of level scaling so that no matter how high your level, you're always bound to find someone who can go toe-to-toe with you. But it didn't quite go far enough. Having a challenge is always welcome, and hopefully future installments take some cues from Fallout 4, where certain areas of the map were always inherently dangerous. There are a lot of hilarious bugs in Skyrim. Like, a lot. And while some can be funny, there are plenty of game-breaking bugs that can leave a sour taste. It's gotten so bad that Elder Scrolls and Fallout games have become synonymous with bugs and errors. But if you look around at all the other open-world RPGs, it starts to become clear that this problem shouldn't be as bad as it is, no matter how funny the bugs can sometimes be. Compared to Oblivion, Skyrim cities feel sort of desolate. Even the capital city of Solitude's residential quarter totals around 8 houses, and an entire college for bards comes off as depressingly empty. Perhaps Oblivion was just overly ambitious, but Cyrodiil felt alive. In future installments, we'd like to see more lively, believable cities and townsfolk. We don't know where we'll travel next in Tamriel, but we can only hope it's bursting with citizens who live in wondrous cities just waiting to be explored. For more on Skyrim, check out our review of the recent special edition and our graphics comparisons, and for all things Elder Scrolls past, present, and future, keep questing with IGN.